Alright guys, welcome back to not the shop, because I am in here packing the pantry, and so far I think I'm getting it a little bit. And yeah, welcome to the Texas or Bust series, because we have to be out of here in, how long, babe? Like 5 days now, something like that?
Yeah.
Not very long, 6 days?
I think 5, I don't know. It's less than a week.
It's a short amount of time, so the house is closing in a couple days and we have to be gone, which means everything has to be, isn't that what you usually do when you move, is pack everything up? Anyway, come along, we'll be throwing stuff into boxes and packing the shop and everything else like that, and it'll be hitting the road here before you know it. So this is the Saga Begins. So to show you guys this is out of the pantry, because I keep almost all of my handle wood inside in the pantry here. This is some mesquite, some desert ironwood, and then in here we have some different chunks of stuff. Antler as well. I'm not going to pull that out, but there's that. Up in here, got some curly maple. The reason it's in here and not out in the shop is because the humidity levels around here are such that if you leave it out there, it's gonna be a different size after it dries out, if it dries out. Even these fiber liners, I haven't used these vulcanized fiber liners in anything in quite a while. I really prefer the G10, but even these soak up moisture, and whoops, if you use them in a humid environment, I'm talking like the humidity around here easily gets up to 90%. More in the winter. It's easily, you know, 50% off and on throughout the summer. So that amount of moisture, you put this on a knife handle and then you bring it into a dry environment, you'll get some shrinkage. What's that? Some yogurt? I think you gotta go get some more. Anyway, something to keep in mind. Alright guys, so now I'm out in the shop and it's late afternoon. It's been rather warm the last couple of days, so I'm not gonna probably stay out here that long. I think I'll come out here this evening and work a little bit after it cools off. It's actually kind of nice now that I've ceased working in the shop as far as building product up until, what, 2 days ago? The end of last week, I guess. And so now it's kind of like, it almost feels like being on vacation, except for I have to get this whole thing packed up and on a truck in a few days. So that's not the same, but it's kind of nice. I don't know, it's just kind of a different feeling. But yeah, as you can probably see, I've already started tearing into stuff. Things are already being taken apart and categorized, and some of it's already packed. Just a few things are already packed, not much. But one of the things that I'm doing here is getting rid of and throwing away stuff. I've already given away a number of things. I'll be giving away some more things. But you know, there's different things that you haul around and stuff that I've moved on the last couple of short distance moving trips, and you know, things that I haven't used for a couple of years, and they're not coming with us to Texas. That's just not how it's done in maintaining sanity, at least as far as I'm concerned. But I'm trying to be organized about this, and so as you can see here, I've got a tote, and in it is most all of my handle material. And there's some different boxes in the bottom. A lot of this is raw, uncut or unprepped, but some different pieces, and I've given some away. So I'm not taking everything that I had or have and won't be, because there's just, you know, I don't know. It's really easy to keep all these little pieces that you would use someday perhaps, and then realize that that day still hasn't come, and quite frankly probably never will, because I'll be on to the next project and I'll be buying and trying a different kind of handle material, a new handle material, or you know, something else. And so that's one thing, for example, that I've got to do and am doing. So thinning things down, getting rid of the stuff that doesn't need to come with me. Here's another example. Here's a pile of blades. This is not all of them, but this is called part of paying your dues of being a self-taught, if you can call it that, bladesmith. Some of these are good steel, a lot of them not so much, or are not now, but were at one point. Some of them are projects that I tried and realized that I was going a different direction on. Some of them are simply things that I, quite honestly, just lost interest on and went as far as I wanted to go with them. And then plenty of others are test pieces, or you know, figuring out heat treat process that I can do and what I can't do, such as the cracked blade here. Things like that. It's all those things that there's different blades in there that should have been finished, I suppose you could say, or could be. But again, it's those kinds of things that, man, you can't do that. You're just going to be dragging all this stuff around, and trust me, I've done it, and I'm just never going to get to it. It's just not going to happen. I just got to be realistic about it, personally, because I can be the kind of person that wants to keep all the bits and pieces that are useful, have a use, or could have a use, and it's just not worth it. So that's been a learning experience the last couple of years for me personally, with my wife Sarah. She's never been that kind of person. I have, and we've kind of been on that journey together. And so really, honestly, this move is not going to be nearly as difficult as it could be. So that's nice, because we've kind of learned, and I say we, but I guess it's kind of been mostly me, to be honest, to, you know, let go of stuff that, quite frankly, you know, is going to just do more. It's going to be more of a weight and a drag than it is a benefit. And you just have to make those decisions in life, you know, almost every day in some sense or another. Something else I kind of noticed or realized today, or yesterday, in the last couple of days, I don't know exactly what it is, with all the stuff going on here, is that earlier, and again, a couple videos, no, it's been, I mean, a couple weeks ago, probably a couple months. Gee, I don't even know what time it is. Some time ago, within the last month or two, I made a video about things that are changing and how I'm going to be doing things differently with the business model, and kind of had I kind of had these ideas about the directions I need to go, and then it's easy to not completely execute that plan because it feels a little bit, what's the word? Well, risk, I guess, unsafe, if you will. And when it comes to the whole idea of providing for my family, and if it's connected with that in any way, it's very, you know, for me, it's very easy to be very safe, as it were, and I'm sure most of you understand that when it comes to providing for your family. You don't just, you know, you're not flippant about that. I can't be, and you know, historically for me, that's been a difficult thing to take risks in that direction as far as just earning an income. The overarching theme, though, has been that God has provided for us, and He continues to do so, so I'm very thankful for that, and that's really why I'm able to do what I do, and He provides through that and through other things that He's allowed us to do and work at. So it's amazing. I can't take credit for it, but it's awesome. So anyway, along with that, one of the things I had mentioned is that I'm not going to be making the volume of knives that I have for the last multiple years since we opened Fire Creek Forge, and I did that for the most part. I deactivated or took down most of the listings for the different models of knives that you can just go on and purchase. The blades that were paying the bills, but keeping me tied up to almost, you know, for me, higher volume production. You know, for one guy in the shop here, selling $250 knives, $200 knives, you have to make a number of those regularly to pay the bills. And I realized after a year or two that that was not the sustainable model for this business. Now, if I had wanted to go the semi-production, you know, custom knife route that some guys do, that would have been one thing, and that would have required, quite frankly, some different avenues to really up production and probably hire at least one or two guys to help with that. But that's not the direction that I want to go while there's nothing wrong with that, that's not what I'm about. And so the direction of fewer pieces that are just unique, useful, and you know, concentrating on that side of things and custom pieces and stuff like that. And of course, you know, bringing that all to you guys. And that's just scratching the surface. So that's the direction. So anyway, I had these listings up. I still have orders coming in and stuff like that. So I hadn't completely done the transition, still kind of playing it safe, this kind of thing. And then I got an email in the midst of this move, in the midst of, you know, trying to get everything ready, getting our house sold, getting the new house purchased, packing, everything like that. And the email was, where's my knife? And if I don't have it by Friday, I want my money back. Well, and I've had, you know, a couple emails like that before. You know, after selling hundreds of knives, you know, you get one or two grumpy customers, and you know, I get it. We all have bad days and stuff. I went and looked at the knife listing, and I realized that I had not put in the description, as with all the other ones, at least so far as I know, that this is a custom order piece, and you know, delivery is minimum 6 to 8 weeks. And so it's very possible that even though he's on a handmade custom knife page, this guy thought that he was going to get his knife in a week or whatever. So I emailed him and haven't heard back from him yet, and you know, we'll figure it out to do what he needs to do, if he needs the money back, whatever, you know. But it was like, okay, it got me thinking. I was like, all right, so I this is what happens when I don't completely pull the plug on the old model, and even though we're not set up in the new shop yet to hit the ground running on the new model, I'm still dealing with this stuff, and I still have orders on the books from that deal, and custom orders that need to be finished. Obviously, they will be finished in Texas. So anyway, just like, you know what, this is it. I'm not going to do this anymore. This is like, if I'm gonna hit the ground running with this model, which I'm really excited about, I have to let go of that, of the old way of doing it, and the old model that I've used for the last multiple years. And so I finally realized, like, okay, this is what needs to happen. So now the only knives you can purchase on the website right now are the ones that are actually made. And in the months to follow, I am excited to have an inventory of blades up that are ready to purchase, and those ones will ship within a day or so, because they're already made, they're sitting in my inventory, and they're ready to go. And that is the way to, as far as I'm concerned, that's the way to do it. The problem is when you don't start out that way, sometimes it's hard to make the transition, as I've been talking about. So anyway, there's that, and then yeah, so I finally did it. There's still a couple listings on the Etsy shops that I still have not completely taken down. The reason I haven't done that is because there's no way to leave a listing up on the Etsy shop with a zero quantity where you can't actually click the order button. So if I take the listing down, there's nothing up there, and I leave that up simply because I have hundreds of purchases on the Etsy shops and hundreds of reviews in a sort of a, maybe it's not even necessary, I don't know, but it's a what's the word, sort of a, you know, online business reputation that we've built for, you know, the last 5 years. So that's why those are still up. But you know, fortunately, Etsy has all but completely died out. That's where it's going. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and as stated on my website, still taking custom orders. You know, contact me for a custom order, so that's not a problem. We'll figure that out and get that done, and there's a lead time on those, of course. But man, I am excited. This is going to be great. So yeah, we got to get this shop packed up and on a truck, and it's going to be a whirlwind for the next week, 2 weeks, next couple of weeks, but it'll be fun. We'll try to get as much interesting footage for you guys as possible, to kind of join in on the whole journey, the trip down there. But that's kind of the update. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, I got plenty of knife builds and cool projects, so check those out, and don't forget to subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.